This little video here is going to be a quick short video how to do faces quick and easy. We're going to be using dry brushing and it's very simple, very straightforward, so it's going to be quite short. Again, not the way I do my faces now, but a great way to start off doing them. Quick and easy, follow ahead. Remember, if you've got any questions or you've got any queries or just comments or you just want to say thank you Paul or Paul you shouldn't be doing this, comment and subscribe below. Keep up to date with what we're doing. Painting skin, quick and easy. So we're going to use Army War paints for this. It doesn't really matter which ones you use. I've got 3 different layers here in different colours. You can use one colour, probably add a bit of white to lighten it up. The brushes I'm going to be using are from War Bases. We'll pop a link to them somewhere down below. We've got the Relic dry brush, which is quite a small dry brush. The Hero dry brush is just a general dry brush. And for doing the base coat that we're going to do first, we've got the Wargamer Regiment brush from Army Painter. For this demonstration, I'm just going to be using this little paratrooper from Warlord Games, and we're going to be painting up his face and we might as well do his hands as well. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to use the Moonstone skin to put a base layer on, and we'll come back and show you us getting started on that in just a moment. So we've added a little bit of water to the Moonstone, and I've got my paint here. We're just going to start applying a base layer, so being a little bit careful. I've got my hand propped up against the desk here. Just give me a little, make it steady, allow me to follow the lines a bit easier. And we're going to put one coat of this on first, and if we need it we'll come back and we'll do a second coat. Base coat done. I did 2 thin coats, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to use some Flesh Wash from Army Painter. There are other brands available, but I quite like the Army Painter's Flesh Wash. And we're just going to apply that just liberally over all the flesh that we've just painted with that base coat of Moonstone skin. So we're applying that now fairly liberally, just to get the depth and the shade in there. And you want to make sure your paints are all dry before you move on to the next steps. And just covering anywhere where we've painted flesh. And then once that's applied, we're just going to let that dry before we move on to the next stages. Now we're going to do a dry brush over all that with the Hero dry brush. It's quite a big dry brush, and we're going to be using Barbarian Flesh. And as you can see, that Flesh Wash has brought out the details. So let's get to the dry brushing with the Barbarian Flesh. So dip it in, and we are going to take most of it off. I don't know if you can see, there's hardly any on now. And we're just going to do a wee dry brush, and we're going down the way and across the way. I don't know if you can see that's picking it up. And it's just the raised areas are getting a good brush. We're going to give it quite a good dry brush here. You should see quite a lot of difference. Hopefully you can see that starting to come up. And we're catching all the raised areas. Yeah, that's looking not bad. And then we're going to do, using the very small dry brush, that was the Relic dry brush. We're going to do another dry brush with the very light colour, which was Ruby Skin in this case. And just get most of that colour off. And then we're just going to hit it with a very light dry brush, just to get all the very raised areas. We don't want too much. There we go, that'll do. And then just to finish it off, we're going to come back and we're just going to cover that in a little bit of watered down wash, the same wash we used before. That would be the Army Painter Quick Shade Flesh Wash. I've just washed it down a little bit, and we're using this almost as a glaze, just to bring all those colours together, and to make them work a little bit better, let's have a look. We've got to do the hands there, so we'll just do the hands. And here's the small dry brush. Should still be enough colour on that. There we go, just to highlight it. And then just a little bit of watered down wash just to tie all that together. There we go. And then let's have a look, see if we can get up close and personal. Let's see if we can get the macro in here. And there you can see, quick, easy flesh, very easy to do, very quick. And it'll get you going and help to get those figures on the table or on the display, depends what you're doing. So please remember to like, subscribe. If you want to see our future content, please do. And we're more than happy to hear comments from you. Love to interact with our followers. And any questions would be brilliant. Anything we can help you with, please let us know. Take care. Bye for now.